All right, so again, we're going to talk about Google. We're going to talk about AI search, even social search today, and how you can get your practice more top ranked in these key areas. And three critical areas that we're going to look at. One is going to be Google, Google Local, search engine marketing. We're going to look at AI search. Uh, AEO actually ties a little bit more back into Google, so we'll talk about that under that category, and also social search because that has rapidly grown too in how people are using social media to search for services near them. And just a reminder here, we do have some upcoming workshops over the next couple months here. So in October and in November. So on October 9th, we're going to have how you can get more new patients for less dollars. So we'll be looking at how to lower your patient acquisition cost with a more advanced marketing approach. And then in November 6th, we'll be looking at how you can make more money per patient, looking at proven programs and systems that can increase your patient's lifetime value. So looking at how you can obviously increase your revenue per visit, and then also how you can increase your patient lifetime value. We'll be going over those topics in that particular workshop. All right, so today we'll be covering what is changing in search. We'll be talking about how to get your practice more discovered in Google, how to tap into ChatGPT and other AI searches, and how you can leverage social media search. But here's a fun, interesting statistic, right? Because we all want more new patients in our clinic in order to grow. And then what are the behaviors of people who are not just looking around, but more actively trying to get help? And so if we look at the percent of healthcare consumers that ran a search before scheduling an appointment, it was 84% in the PD category, right? So someone who's serious about trying to get help is going to do some type of search 84% of the time when they're looking for PT. And again, that goes across the board, for whether you're physicians or, um, chiropractors. Most people are looking first and doing their due diligence online before ever reaching out to you. So that's the key thing to understand here is that patients do go to Dr. Google first to decide who's the best solution to their problem. And the key question is, will it be you? Will it be your practice that can get in front of them this way? And now in today's world, we actually have more areas that people can get that kind of information from and how to get our clinic up on that. So, here's really the secret to all of that. In today's online world, you really have to be everywhere, right? It's not just focusing on one thing. There's no magic bullet here, right? The secret is how broadly can you market your clinic across lots of different channels out there, right? And a channel being something like Google, even Bing, ChatGPT, Facebook, Instagram. We have all these different channels. And so how can you have a combined approach in your practice to get in front of as many eyeballs as possible on these different channels? Just quickly about me, I'm a licensed PT. I owned and built a seven-figure PT practice. I exited that at the end of 2010, and then I started practice promotions in 2011, and I spent 14 years as a practice marketing expert, helping clinics of all sizes grow with effective marketing. And so with practice promotions, we built up to a multi-seven-figure agency, and we're specific for physical therapy and multidisciplinary practices in the rehabilitation space. And we help everybody from single location practices to over 170 plus location practices is one of our largest clients that we work with. And as Jacob mentioned, we work with over 1,200 clinics across the US and Canada. Over the last year, we brought in 1.2 million leads for our clients, and that resulted in about a $1.2 billion new patient lead value in that last year that we've been able to generate. So my personal purpose and our purpose at the company is to really impact as many lives as we can and bring the great tools and services that we can in our rehabilitation profession to help people get better more naturally. And then we're the largest physical therapy, rehabilitation, and multidisciplinary specific marketing agency in North America. So we'll cover some of this here today, but this is our market to grow strategy. And we'll show you where you can actually get this free books, free resources, how you can implement this strategy in your practice and work on each one of these key areas. Today, we're going to be focusing primarily on this maximize online discovery component of the market to grow and how you can get your practice in front of searches. But we also have market to profit, which is how you're going to attract higher paying patients, how you're going to lower your patient acquisition cost, how you can get clear on your marketing so that you can get the best bang for your marketing dollar. And then looking at market to hire, since that is such a critical part of growth, and we know how competitive it is today to get key talent to come work for us in a very competitive space. So how are we leveraging our website as a recruitment hub? How are we leveraging Google for Jobs, and how are we using Google Job Ads in order to get in front of more people to come work for us? All right, so we'll dive into how you can get your practice more discovered online. What's our strategy here that we want to do in order to get more people to our practice? If we look at this graph here on the left, this is just an example of a client that we worked with and how focusing on getting your clinic as visible online as possible can make a major impact in your clinic. So if we look at the growth of this clinic over the course of about 1 year, they grew in their visibility online and be able to get 7,000 more visitors to their website each month over that year time span. So they went from about 3,800 to over 10,500 visitors a month. So major impact in the visibility of their practice online. And that trickles down to obviously people booking through the site. This is a clinic with many, many different locations. So obviously they're going to have quite a large number of visitors to their website per month. But that's really the goal here is like how many people can we get in front of, how many more people can we get to their website, and how many more people can we get taking action. So first off, we want to look at how we can get multi-spot ranking on Google. So people do trust a practice that ranks higher on Google. And so we want to do that through multiple search results on page one. And we'll show some examples of what that looks like. Then we want to work on service and condition-based search marketing. So there's thousands of people searching for help out there. They're not necessarily searching for physical therapy near me, but we do want to have a focus towards those key words, right, for physical therapy near me. But there's also a lot of people searching for how can I help my back? I sprained my knee. What can I do? I've got osteoarthritis. So all these types of searches going out there, people aren't even necessarily thinking of physical therapy first about that. But what if you can come up in front of them for those searches and now get in front of them? And that's the beauty of online discoverability. And then we're going to look at search engine marketing. So this is leveraging Google Ads, and allows you the ability to advertise to specific areas or zip codes in your community to show up in search results at the top of Google. All right, and then we'll be looking at AI and social search optimization. So people now also use ChatGPT, and they're using other AI sites too, Claude and Gemini and all these other ones, as well as social media to get answers to their questions. All right, so if we look here at Google, we want to dominate Google, right? That's basically what we want to do here in our area. And so the goal is really to own as many spots on page one of Google as possible for your main keywords. So our main keywords pretty much going to be PT near me or physical therapy near me, right? If we're a physical therapy clinic. But of course, our other services may be occupational therapy near me, speech therapy near me, fitness near me, anything like that that we want to really rank for. Um, and so here we've got our search engine marketing, right, which is our ad section here at the top. Now it's going to be the very top ads of Google, as well as the top ad spot on the local maps section. And ideally, we want to have both of those working with our ads. And then we have our local map section here, right, which is where we'll see our Google business profile, our reviews, directions, all those kind of things. And typically it's about 3, sometimes it's a 4 pack of results that pop up. And then we have our organic positions down here, which is our top 10 positions. And again, that can fluctuate depending on how the searches are pulling up. So the goal here is really about owning Google. So if you're a patient, who would you choose as a patient? And let's take a look here at a search. So this is a search for physical therapy in the Auburn, Michigan area. So if I'm a patient and this is my search, I land up here. First off, I see an ad right up there for Renew PT. They also have their ad here in the map section. They're also in the local section here with 70 reviews for their clinic. And then they're here in the top 10 section. So you have to think to yourself, if I'm a patient, who am I more likely to choose? It's going to be Renew PT. And again, that's why it's so critical to work on not just trying to rank only in the local section here, but how am I leveraging search engine marketing to command more spots? How am I ranking up here in the organic section? And that just allows me to have as many spots as possible on page one. I'm going to be the preferred clinic that this patient is going to choose in that particular search. Any questions on that philosophy or methodology? Awesome. All right. Yeah, don't forget to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question or just pop it in the chat there. Happy to help you answer anything there. All right, so how do we get our practice to rank up there, right? And so there's some secret sauce to that. First is about your website, right? So you have to have a lot of good content on your website, and your website also has to load very quickly, right? And so that's back to the structure, the pictures, software of the website. There's a lot of things that go into that technical side, and that's why you have, it's good to make sure you have a professional website and you have a professional service handling that so it can be quick, right? Google does look at that. And if you ever have any questions about your website, you can go to Page Speed Insights. Just type that in on Google, and you can just run the scan with your website URL, and it'll tell you what's going on with your website and how fast it is on both a mobile device and also on a desktop or laptop. Next, we want to have a complete and updated online business profile. And we'll talk about that here in a second, like the different profiles that are out there, what you should be working on. And then we work on list building on different business directory sites and apps. So we'll talk about that here too. That's one of the key areas that can really get you found locally. And then obviously leverage Google advertising. So if you're not using Google advertising, that's definitely, I would say, an important thing for you to budget towards. If you are doing Google advertising and you're trying to do it yourself, you can waste a lot of money. So it's actually better, again, to use someone who has a lot of experience in the complexities of Google advertising so you can get the best bang for your marketing dollar there. So what should you do yourself when it comes to getting found on Google? Well, you can easily add pictures, videos, and content to your business profile, especially your Google business profile, right? And Google likes to see things updated on your business profile frequently. So it's great to take, fresh pictures, update things on your business profile there. That can help you get, more visible in the local searches. And then reviews. We all know reviews are good, right? So reviews are good, obviously, for how people perceive us, our reputation, and then Google and Facebook also look at how frequently those reviews are coming up. So it's better to have more of a process in place where you can gather one, maybe two reviews a week versus trying to get 10 at one go on a blitz. Because think about if you're a patient too, let's say, for example, you were going to go to a restaurant. Now, if that restaurant had great reviews, but the last review is a year ago, you're going to wonder what's happened in this last year, right? Why is no one written a review anymore? So it's really important to have consistency in your reviews. And Google is especially important, but let's not forget Facebook because that does help also with rankings on Google, believe it or not. And then other things you should be working on yourself is internal marketing coordination. So if you had someone helping you with your marketing, how you're coordinating all those different marketing actions. And then, you can also work really easily on connecting in your local area digitally, right? So you should be part of your Chamber of Commerce, if only to get a link from the Chamber of Commerce or government type website back to your website. That actually helps a lot with ranking. And then sports teams that may have online either Facebook accounts or if they actually have websites, so like say a soccer association or something like that, if you can get listed on there as a preferred provider or something like that, and it can actually link back to your website, that helps you again with rankings on your website. And then also your job internally is to strategize and collaborate with your marketing agency. Now, whether that's someone local or someone professional like us, you need some outside help to do all the technical stuff, right? And so you should be working consistently with your agency in order to do that. And then what are some things that you should outsource to someone else, to an agency outside, right? And so that should be your local SEO, organic SEO, website optimization, business profile optimization, listing distribution, and Google advertising. So, should I use someone or should I not? Well, you should, right? Because there's a lot of technical things in this space that, you need to focus on building your business and treating patients. and you should outsource some of these things here to someone who is an expert at these particular areas. All right, so let's talk here about your online business profile. So first and foremost, we've got our Google business. It used to be called Google My Business, but now it's a Google Business Profile. And again, this is an area that we can easily work on ourselves, update frequently. We'll show some examples here of what you can do there. But you should also have an Apple Business Connect profile, right? That should be updated too, because think about everybody on their iPhones using iPhone Maps. That is going to come up in their Apple Business Connect. And then Bing Places for Business is also critical. A lot of default PC um, browsers are defaulted to Bing. So especially if you kind of service a little bit more of a senior crowd, uh, they will actually use Bing a little bit more. So Bing is actually more predominant in senior crowds for online searches. So again, you don't want to you want to obviously have a very good Google business profile, but don't forget these other key profiles too. So let's take a look here at how you can level up your Google profile. So pulling up Pro Taylor PT here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And so if we look at their Google Business profile here, first off, they're killer at getting reviews. So 587 five-star reviews, fantastic. You know, that builds a lot of authority right there. They also have very good imagery of their clinic. So showing what the experience is like coming into their clinic. And that is a key thing that you want to have up there too. Obviously, there's some fun things that you can put up there, but showing how treatment looks within the clinic. And I'm always a big proponent of at least, you know, a couple times a year getting a professional photographer into your practice to make give you kind of the ammunition for your marketing that you can put in places like this. And of course, we want to have all of our connections in here to the appropriate things. We want to make sure that our address is, this is going to be our key address here, and we can make sure our website addresses are synced correctly up to this, as well as other profiles. A little mistake people put in here would be like if you use suite, if you spell out the word suite versus STE, that is not good. You want to have exactly the same spelling across all your different platforms there from your website to a Google Business Profile. This is products and categories, so you can easily add things in here that you do within the clinic. You can even create your own categories, but basically more of these, the better, and especially for your key services. So that's a great thing to put in there. It gets you in front of more people, more searches that people are doing. And then questions and answers. This is a great thing that a lot of clinics don't use in their profile, but it's very easy. You can actually put your own common questions that people may ask, like, where are you guys located? What insurances do you take? Do you treat kids? You know, so there's all kinds of questions that people may have, and you can actually write this in a way so that common search words will show up in these particular questions and answers. And again, that just helps you with ranking better. And then as we get down here, we can also look at how we are connecting things from our website. So blogs are a great way to put content on your website. It can be used for a lot of different things, but one of them is you can actually link it here in your profile and keep that content fresh and updated, you know, to your website. Google likes to see that. And then making sure our social media profiles are all linked in here for the appropriate ones for whatever particular locations that you have. So that is how you should work towards the ideal Google Business profile. All right, so next phase here is we want to optimize your website, right? So this is called on-page optimization. We want to work on what's called condition-based content approach. And this is basically looking at how people are searching for common solutions, right, for their problems. So if they have back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, you name it, right? Do you have specific pages on your website that are talking about that? And that's those particular pages are actually going to get found in those particular searches. So let's take a look at how that looks here, coming back to our friends at Renew PT. So if we look under what we treat, we have these very deep pages in here that are on particular conditions. So if I'm a person in that area and I'm looking for back pain treatment or back pain relief or any kind of searches related to back pain, this page is actually going to rank in those particular areas. And this will actually be the first page that people will click to from those particular searches. So you want to have these pages really built out, almost like a sales page where you can answer the questions, get people interested, excited, and then they're going to probably go on to learn more, about you and your practice and your locations and all of that good stuff, right? So that is one of the key things here is to have a lot of these deep condition-based pages here, because then we're doing not only service-based marketing, but we're doing condition-based marketing, which is what we want to focus on.
The top 10% of PT owners aren't just surviving, they're thriving. But what's their secret? Well, Neil Trickett's new Market to Grow book reveals how the top 10% of PT practices leverage marketing systems to simultaneously grow their new patients, attract top talent, and boost profit in their practice. You can learn from their secrets. Visit practicepromotions.net/book to claim your free copy of Market to Grow. Yes, you heard that right. We are shipping a free copy of Market to Grow to all podcast listeners who want it. Just visit practicepromotions.net/book to claim your free book. And now back to the show.
How do we want to approach multi-location optimization on this? Yeah, so we want to have definitely unique location landing pages. It's not good to have all your locations on one page or just like in your footer. We want to have a landing page for each one. This is like your local sales page. So we want to make it look good and interactive. And then we want to direct our Google and business profiles specifically to that specific location page and realize that that is the first page that people are going to see in that particular area. And then we're going to use listing software and listing building for each one of those particular locations. And then on those location pages, we want to interlink to all the different areas, all those conditions that we were just showing within those particular pages. So let's have a look-see at how that would look here. This is Pacific Pro in California. And so let's look at their locations here. So if I just pull up Irvine, for example, this is a specific page for Irvine, right? It's got its own unique page, its own unique URL. This is what's going to be linked in the Google's business profile. This is the first page that people are going to see searching in that area, whether you like it or not, right? It's typically going to be the page that pops up just because it's very specific. And so we want to use this as an opportunity to make sure we have a great first experience for people who come here, and we have a lot of personalization on the page showing that clinic, showing what it's like to be at that clinic. And then we can talk about certain conditions that that particular clinic has or services, the people that are there, and then give them an opportunity to, take that next step with us, right? And then these pages themselves are going to be linked to more specific pages within the website. The goal is always, as people come from searches, make your website as sticky as possible. How much time can you get someone to spend on your website? The greater the amount of time someone's going to spend on your website, and that's why it's really important to have a good sales page for your location page, the greater the possibility that they're actually going to request that appointment or start to do an interactive chat with your clinic, right? Or call, whatever may be the preferred method for that particular patient. So that's a big thing in our approach to being discoverable for our particular locations, is we want to make sure those particular pages are really dialed in. It's connected with our specific Google business profiles and our different online business profiles, and that's going to help us rank for those particular areas. And then whether you're single location or multi-location, we want to make sure that we're doing listing citations and backlinks. And this is basically how your business information is displayed across the internet. So if you think of different apps out there like Apple Maps and Waze and Uber and Yellow Pages and Yahoo, how do they get your information? Well, it's actually from all these different sources online. And so there's software and there's tools that can get your information synchronized across these major directories online. And from there, you can make sure your business information is very accurate and that it's actually shared from these areas. And you want to make sure that it's exactly, again, as I mentioned, from what's on Google as well as your website. And then we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but developing partners. So get your website listed on those other sites, Chamber of Commerce, sports team, other businesses. Make sure that you can post to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram often, because all of that Google sees. Google scrapes that information and determines your authority level, right? How your practice is in that particular market. The better you do at this, the higher you're going to rank, the more you're going to be discovered online. All right, so let's talk here a little bit about search engine marketing, right? And that just refers to what happens with Google Ads. And if again we look here, the top section, it's pay to play. Google, it's how Google makes money, but we've got to do advertising in order to get at the very top, the top of the maps. And then our SEO, our search engine optimization, is how we're going to get found in our map section as well as our top 10. As I showed you before, if you're a patient and you see this clinic's name all over the place, I'm going to click on them first, and that's going to be the preferred clinic that I go to first. So when it comes to your search engine marketing, your Google Ads strategy, it's really about targeting the right audience around your clinics through different regions, maybe radiuses, certain zip codes, whatever it may be. We're finding who's the people that I want to target. Maybe it's a certain demographic, maybe it's a certain, affluency. They're in a certain area of town. I want to target that, right? And that's going to allow them to get your practice to the top of Google and attract new patients. And we have to make our ads very compelling. We have to try different headlines, we have to try different copy, whatever's going to cause people to click on that the most, right? And take them to our website or call directly from there. And then we need to have the right systems in place that can help track and measure, and so we can constantly improve these results. So we have clients that are spending anywhere from $500 a month on ads to $14,000 a month on Google Ads. That's like one of our 8 locations or 10 location clinics that's spending that much because it works so well. And we have some clients that are spending that amount. And when you're able to get a new lead into your clinic for like $35 or sometimes even $20 or less, you know that that is your accelerator, your throttle, right, to business growth. So you feel comfortable investing into that because you know it's going to generate the amount of new patient leads that you need for that particular location. You can move your ad budget all over the place with that too. That's a nice thing you can do with Google Ads. Um, and I know we have a certain amount of budget that we can afford in our clinic. And so it's always like, where should I put that money, right? I think you should be on Facebook ads and Google ads, but here's the differentiator between the two, right? And Google ads is really about serving to people based on their intent, right? So someone's on Google for a reason. They're looking for some kind of idea, some kind of solution. How can I get in front of those people? And that's what Google ads is for. Facebook ads, you have to realize people on Facebook typically for entertainment, right? So you're based on personality, behavior, having the opportunity to interrupt their entertainment, to give them something that's more relevant to them about their pain or problem, and be able to have them come on that way. So I always look at Facebook kind of builds awareness, and your Google Ads gives you more specific targeting for people that are searching for intent. So if you don't have a lot of budget to play with, I will say start with Google Ads because that's going to help you get in front of those people that are actually searching for help. And then you can expand with Facebook ads further from there. And so when we're doing our search engine marketing, what are some of the things that we want to do? Again, this is based on how much money you want to spend or the results that you want to get from that money that you spend. You want to start off with your main categories, right? Your service-based categories, which is physical therapy near me, physical therapy in your particular town, best physical therapy near me, those kind of things. And then we can expand from there. So let's say we have a pelvic health program, we have a sports medicine program, we want to treat more people with rotator cuff injuries. We can make condition specific campaigns around that, but what you want to make sure is that you have enough budget to go towards those. I would say at least $500 towards one of those campaigns in order to make it worthwhile, because you got to give enough money to Google to show it enough times to get enough results. And if you're only going to spend $100 for the month on a rotator cuff campaign, you're not going to get in front of enough people to make that an effective result for you. So you're better off spending that money back in here on your primary keywords to get the traction that you need. And typically, again, here for service, 500 or 600 is like a bare minimum. That's going to give you maybe anywhere, let's say from like 10 to 12 new patients a month from that. But then if you invested up to say 1,000, that doesn't necessarily just double it. It might even triple it because again, it's about how much Google is actually able to show you. And when you put more money towards it, they're going to show you more times. So as I mentioned here, the key too is also understanding where patients come from. And the biggest issue for practice owners is marketing confusion. They don't know what works. So you have to have a lot of tracking systems in place to help you understand where patients are coming from. Did they actually turn into a lead? That's why you need call tracking, you need chat form tracking, you need forms on your website tracking, Google ad tracking. And so we build a lot of systems here that actually, that's a big thing that we do is really to understand what is working in marketing. It gives you a lot of clarity. And when you're confident in your marketing, you're like, okay, we're gonna put a little bit more money in this because I want to grow this amount. Or I'm starting up a new clinic and I want it to grow this amount. This is where I know I can put some money with it or get results from it. We're gonna grow from there. All right, so let's jump into our AEO, our answer engine optimization, and our AI search questions here. So there's a lot happening here, and we're seeing some patients now actually come directly from ChatGPT. The king is still Google. That's where you want to put most of your effort, but it's good to understand how things are working in this other space too. And so I pulled up a search here on ChatGPT just to kind of show you. So someone who lives in Easton, Massachusetts, and they're asking if physical therapy can help their knee pain. And so that's what I punched in here. This is the information that comes up from ChatGPT. It's telling me all the things that can be doing. And a lot of it's referenced from different sites. So it might be from WebPT, might be from, different websites that are out there, what to expect. And then it does even ask me at the end, hey, do you want me to check to see if there's any clinics near you in this particular town? And then I said, yes. And this pulls this list for me. Now, where's it getting this information? Typically, it's getting this information from Google. So what we do on Google actually helps us in the AI search world. And so that's, again, why we should be doing a lot of it, activity in our website, in our local business profiles, trying to get as high as we can on Google because it helps us in these AI searches as it scrapes different information out there. And then, hey, you can even go deeper, right? I can map out 3 to 5 clinics closest to your address and check ratings if they accept your insurance. Do you want that, right? So it can go on and on and on. It can really get that in there. So we're talking about ChatGPT. Again, the main area that ChatGPT is going to be pulling from is from Google searches and then also from websites. So that's why we want to have a lot of content within our websites too. I did the same search here in Google, and this uses Gemini here to give us our answer engine optimization. And so this is what we see pulling up more and more for those kind of condition searches. So when it comes to like a specific search for physical therapy near me, it's going to give you more of that map and local section. If you're asking about how I can help my knee pain, it's going to give you more of this AI overview here through Gemini, but it's still going to pull from these different areas. And so you can see here, it's actually pulling from details about like Elliott Physical Therapy in Massachusetts, right? And it's using all these references here from their website. And then of course I start to get my search results up here too. So the goal is how can we get our content up in here, right? And a lot of that comes down to blogs that we're putting out there, right? So it's pulling from this blog. That's why it's really important to put this frequent content on our website that's really matched to common search terms that we're doing on Google. And so the things that you can look for, here's a simple trick with Google. Let's just say I'm looking for how can I help my knee pain, it gives me these different searches. So what's a good home remedy for knee pain? How can I get immediate relief from knee pain? How can I help my aching knees? How can I help my sore knees? So if you can include some of those type of phrases in your content, guess what? You're going to start to pull up top of some of these searches. When you're pulling up for some of these searches here, it's going to start to pull you into the AI mode for Google, right? And so that's how we start to leverage AI in our different searches there. For Carla here, she had a question about how long are the campaigns on Google, generally when spending about 600 to 1,000. It's one of those things that they can run for quite a while. You do want to monitor if you're getting your dollar cost per conversion starts to go up and up and up. That might mean that your ads are getting tired and you need some new headlines. But if you have it set up right, Google can actually rotate and pick headlines for you from your suggestions that rotate. So it makes your ads more fresh so that they can run for a very long time. So hopefully that helps you with your question. All right. So in our AI search strategy here, we got to realize that people are using those AI engines like ChatGPT to get more detailed answers to common questions. And the clinics that dominate search engines like Google are going to win more at ChatGPT and these different AI searches that are coming up. And so some of the keys to ranking on AI search are to leverage Google and rank high in Google. And then how can you put more of that specific condition-based content on your site that's AI optimized. And that means like longer form sentences, right? And common questions and answers. And that's where you can really leverage that kind of research and write in that way um, so that our content is modified to be optimized, not just for SEO, which is like short keywords, but for AI, it's long tail questions and answers that we can put within our website pages. And so, if we look at an example here on Elliott's, and that's what we were seeing pull up there in that chat GPT result is this page here has a lot of details. Here we're pulling in arthritis. And this page has been optimized in the content to have a lot of those long tail sentences and questions and answers in them. Even the FAQs, this is a great thing to have at the bottom of your page is frequently asked questions. This is where you can put a lot of those details in that come up in ChatGPT. And you can even ask ChatGPT what are the most common searches for this type of problem in knee pain, right? And it'll tell you what to write out there basically, and you can pump that into your FAQs. But as I've shown you before, those blogs and patient newsletters, we want to have fresh, frequent content on our website. This is what's going to get us a lot more visibility online. And the great thing with this too is we can actually repurpose it we can email it to our patients. We can use it on our social media to drive people back to our website. And so it's really about getting people back to our website to engage with new content that we're putting up for them. And so we do see practices that are consistent with their content marketing. That's why we do this for clinics is we do their blogs, we do their patient newsletters, we do their social media. Like it's hard to keep pumping this out on your own in your clinic, even if you're a marketing director. Like there's a ton of marketing actions you need to be doing in the clinic. The content stuff here, like this is where you need help, right? Because the more frequently that it's happening, the better you're going to get. And then that ties back to your social. Like social, you need to be posting 3, 4 times a week, having that consistently go out there. So being able to put that all together on a consistent basis, grab all that information, have it professionally designed, like that's hard, right? And that's where you need to leverage help and services for that. But we have to realize it too that we can leverage social media to be discovered in our local areas, and not just from like posts or feeds, but actually how searches are done on social. And just recently this year, Google is now going to pull Instagram searches into its search results. So the world between search engines and social media is crossing and aligning, right? So we want to make sure that we're leveraging social media. We do custom profile building, how you have strategic hashtags, caption optimization, the consistency of your content, like if it's really engaging, people are liking and commenting on it, video optimization, and then how you can actually use within the content of social media for local and keyword targeting, going back to how those search results are coming up. So what we find is that clinics that are consistent about posting professional and personalized content, they do gain more followers, and you can really level up your organic social media. And you want to you are what you present out there, right? So you want to have a lot of great visual content from within the clinic, video content. You can make it fun, you can make it interesting, but then also make it professional at the same time, right? And you elevate your brand by how professional you portray yourself out there. So you can work on content here and then run it on schedule. So posts are consistent with day and time. We find that works best. And then just if you can shoot more video within the clinic and make it fun, that's going to help you a lot with your social posting and get you in front of more people with those social search optimization posts. Let's take a look at that real quick here. So we'll look at our friends here at Movement Specialists. Um, again, the way that your page feels, making sure that it's really professional. This is key to have as much of this detailed out as possible and interlinking to different areas, even like your Instagram page and here, your different, like here they have their specific location page. They're shooting off to that one. And then within the posts themselves, we're working on the content here for specific keywords, even AI searches. and then your hashtags, how you're using those strategically for certain areas that you're trying to develop, or even specific locations and areas that you're trying to develop there too. So really the goal here is to be omnipresent, right? You want to leverage social media, email, website, text messaging, direct mail marketing. The wider your reach is here, the more people you're just going to get into the clinic. So just in recap here, your success really depends heavily on your online discoverability in today's world. And we know that's going further and further. And so if we want our clinics to really have the opportunity to dominate in our area, we have to do this really well. So you need to be searchable everywhere. Just realize that Google is still king. So you want to spend the majority of your efforts here, not just chasing the one small thing over there. Building your online profiles to boost your local rankings is really a powerful thing that you can do. You want to use that content marketing on your website. That's going to help you improve both visibility on Google, but in the AI search, the AEO, the ChatGPTs, that's really going to help you there. And then we want to leverage search engine marketing with Google Ads. So just knowing that we're going to have to spend a little money here to get visibility, and it can happen quite quickly, which is a nice thing, but just budgeting for that in our practice. And then using a collaborative approach between actions you can do, right? And then leverage the expertise of SEO, AEO, AI, and SSO specialists to make your practice discoverable online. That's why I have a whole team that helps with this specifically. We've got some great free resources for you here. So I've got the whole market to grow training, so market to grow, market to hire, market to profit. We have a lot of videos and stuff that we put up consistently. This video will be up here too. This is on our school community, so please join in. It's free. We're there to help you with this. It's just school.com/market to grow, like the number 2. So definitely join and become a member of that. If you haven't gotten this yet, get our free marketing kit. So we've got our market to grow strategy book in this, as well as our 2025. I think we're almost there with the 26 calendar, Jacob. So that'll be coming real soon. And about our ultimate practice marketing system in that. So again, this is free. Get the free book and the free calendar in there. You can just go to practicepromotions.net, sign up directly on there. Just give us your address and we'll ship that off to you for free, no cost. And then for the future, if you are interested, if you do want to level up your practice's marketing systems, you've got to realize that what got you to this point won't get you to that next level. So really got to level up your marketing if you want to significantly grow your practice and take it to the next level. And then you need an advanced and comprehensive marketing solution for the rapidly changing, online landscape out there. So our goal is at Practice Promotions, we partner with you to bring you the winning strategy, the ultimate practice marketing system, and our specialists to ensure you have the edge you need. So whether you're a practice owner or a marketing director, we work with all of them. We even work with our big clients that have entire marketing teams. They leverage our teams to help support them in their marketing efforts. So if you want to learn more about what we do for clinics, how we could help your clinic, just book a free strategy session here. You can go with one of our marketing consultants. It's right on our website. Just go ahead and schedule an appointment right there. And on that call, basically, we're going to uncover what's working for you right now, and what's not working with your current marketing, where there's opportunities for you there to significantly improve your marketing results, and how you can get a live marketing evaluation. And we'll also do a competitor rundown for you, where you'll get a view of how your practice stacks up online against competitors in the area, be able to find easy wins so that you can boost your search visibility, calls, and online signups. And then you'll get a diagnosis of your biggest growth blockers. And then you'll also get a custom market to grow blueprint for your practice on that call too. So if you're doing it right here, what 2026 can hold is giving you more confidence in getting the new patients to build your practice. You can have clarity in what is working in your marketing. You can lower your patient acquisition costs substantially. So most practices it's costing them like $100 or more in their marketing. Our clinics average like $35. You can get more patient retention, referrals, and reactivations. And if you being able to attract more clinicians, front desk, and more staff with our market to hire in an ultra competitive marketplace, that can really help you grow your business too. Just some quick examples here from clinics that we work with. This is Pro Clinics, been with us for over 5 years here, and you can see their growth over the years. Yeah, I think there are 4 or 5 locations up in New York area. This is Pro Taylor PT in Indiana, so you can see their growth here over the last 5 years. And we just love helping clinics like this to grow and accelerate. That's really our purpose and passion, which is to help practice owners level up their marketing so they can succeed in improving more people's lives. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being on the call with us here today. Really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. I hope you got a lot of great questions out this. We'll send the recording out of it, and Jacob will also send the other links to the free resources. Please feel free to leverage those. We want to help you be as successful as possible in growing your practice. So thanks, everybody, for being on the call here today, and I'm wishing you much success in your practice for the rest of 25 and 26.
A free way for you to support our show is by leaving a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It's a chance for you to tell us what you love about the show, and it helps others discover it as well. Just scroll down to ratings and review on your phone and click write a review. Thanks.